Hello and welcome to Towards a Better India. In this video, I want to highlight the importance of vertical growth versus in terms of the fact that more and more people can actually be supported on lesser land. Where this is coming from is the fact that land prices in India are escalating incrementally, wherein we are seeing growth which is probably comparable to some of the most expensive places in the world, and that is largely happening because compared to the very high population in India, land supply obviously is limited. So therefore price escalation is almost mandatory. It is bound to happen. But at the same time, if you have more and more vertical growth wherein more families, more people can actually be supported on a single piece of land versus too many single story bungalows, too many houses which have obviously just say a single individual or a single family staying there. More land can actually be utilized more effectively, and that's where I feel that the need of the hour is that we have more high rises constructed all over India. Yes, in places like Bombay or Mumbai, we have been seeing that for a long time, but in other parts of India I think it's still limited, and I think there's still a lot of scope for growth. Yes, when we look at the north of the country, it falls under a high seismic zone which is prone to say earthquakes, etc. But if you compare with a market like Japan, the whole country is prone to similar natural disasters. They have put in scientific methods where high rises can actually withstand any such natural disaster. I'm sure we can also implement the same technology. We can also implement the same methods whereby we also ensure that in spite of having more and more high rises, they remain safe for people, and therefore more families, more people can be supported on single smaller plots of land. And that I think is the definite need of the hour. Yes, ancillary infrastructure has to be very good. When you have, say, water supply, electricity supply has to be more than adequate, because again, on a smaller piece of land you're having so many families, so you need to ensure that there's adequate water supply, adequate electricity supply for all the families on that plot of land. That can be done. Everything can be done if things are planned effectively, and that's where I feel that vertical growth is definitely the need of the hour. You compare our major urban cities with any other major urban agglomeration in anywhere in the world, and you'll find that our skyline is still lacking in terms of vertical growth to the extent that you see in other places. That's where I feel the appeal of our skyline can also be much better, and at the same time you'll have more growth, more families, more individuals being supported on a relatively lesser scale in terms of land usage, especially compare given the population, given the extent to which land is available, obviously, which is limited. You can't overnight, you can't have more supply of land. That's where it is mandatory that you grow vertically, and that's the aspect which I wanted to cover in this video. Cheers.